Hello everybody, welcome to Cars at 100. My name is Leo and let's talk about everything automotive. So on today's episode of Active Performance, I wanted to talk about three cars by Volkswagen and by BMW. BMW has released brand new SUVs, M models of the SUVs of X3 and X4, and also new Volkswagen Jetta Gli. So finally we're gonna get the MQB platform, the GLI, and it's kind of exciting because, as you know, on the channel, my personal car is 2017 Volkswagen Jetta Gli. So first, let's talk about Volkswagen. Now, Volkswagen's Jetta Gli that was released in the Chicago Auto Show recently has wowed the world because Volkswagen in the old fashion used to downgrade the GTI engines and they used to trickle down to the GLIs. And this time around, we gonna get the same GTI engine with the same performance of the horsepower, 228 horsepower and 256 pound-feet of torque, just like the same as outgoing 7.5 generation GTI that is still being sold. But I have a feeling that the biggest elephant in the room would be the idea that the new GTI will come out and it's gonna have a better performance, of course, as usual, as the other predecessors of the GLI used to have when the new GTI came out. But that's understandable because GTI is more important to Volkswagen and is more of a special car to fans as well. But it's very exciting nonetheless. You're gonna have independent rear suspension compared to the torsion beam that is on the regular Jetta. So GLI is gonna have a better edge in terms of the suspension and cornering abilities. Also up front, you're gonna get limited slip differential. It's gonna be electronic limited slip differential, not like the old school GLIs and GTIs used to have with mechanical limited slip diff. This one is nonetheless, it's still limited slip differential, but it's electronic this time around. Kind of understandable because the cars are being more modernized and the technology is improving and it's more efficient, I guess. But it's very nice. You're gonna get a digital cockpit as well. You're gonna have a better infotainment system. Beats audio system this time around, which is optional compared to the Fender audio system that I have. But it's very exciting nonetheless because I know the Beats audio system is gonna have more bass, and I think this car needed a little bit more bass, and I have a feeling that people gonna like it a little bit more. In terms of the steering wheel, you're gonna have the same steering wheel. You're gonna have the same touch materials everywhere. You got this rubbery soft touch material on dash here, but you also have the same kind of materials throughout, but a different design, of course, because it's a brand new car. And the most important is the design. So outside of the car, it's gonna have a little bit more aggressive stance. You're gonna have a very nice wheels as well on the car. In terms of the amenities inside the cabin, you're gonna have a very nice technology available to you in terms of the adaptive suspension. Me personally, I'm excited about that because adaptive suspension is something that the GLI will benefit, because people choose GLI for the comfort as well, not just for sportiness every time around. So the GTI is more of an edgy type of a sports kind of a front wheel drive hatchback, but GLI used to be always a softer version, more family oriented with a sedan body. But GLI, brand new GLI, will get also the same transmission as my car. The 7-speed instead of 6-speed DSG is gonna be on the brand new GLI. But you're also gonna have adaptive suspension that kind of includes on the upper trim, that kind of includes the comfort mode, which is gonna be very nice for this type of car, I think, in my opinion. Also, you're gonna have lots of interesting things. You have driving modes just like in GTI, so you can choose a different driving mode, and I think you can be able to adjust just like in Audis, and I think that's also really exciting, really nice. Sometimes you want to have a different feel to the car, and I think a lot of people are gonna be happy about this new technology being put into this car. Now let's move on into the BMW small SUVs that are given the M makeover. X3M actually and X4M came out, and what they have to offer, they have to offer two tunings for the same engine. They're gonna have the new inline six cylinder that has twin turbo, and is gonna have 467 horsepower in a regular version, and they're gonna have 510 horsepower, 503 horsepower rather, in the competition version of the car. But what's exciting about this is because smaller SUVs and SUVs overall are becoming more popular, and it kind of makes sense that these cars are coming out as well. Most important thing to note here is that the M3 engine that's going to be put into these SUVs is going to be very technical in terms of, like we know M division, they're going to have a very good engines, but they're also going to have an all-wheel drive system that's going to go into BMW M3. So I think it's going to be very beneficial for the 3 Series M3, and I think it's going to be very technical in terms of the performance as well. BMW is finally going to be competing with Audi, and Audi is something that the Quattro system has been on the market for quite some time and has been dominating. So let's see what BMW has to offer in terms of the ability to compete with Audi. Let me know what you think about these cars in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Stay loving cars.